Hello everybody and welcome to Poland Daily Travel, where this time we say, head east, young man. We're going in search of Eastern promise to the Bialystok region, about 2 hours, give or take a few kilometers, east of Warsaw. This is an area of hidden treasures, castles, palaces, wildlife, and of course water and the great forests. The Brunitsky Palace in the center of Bialystok stands out as a Baroque masterpiece, often compared in its own way to a smaller version of Versailles. Then there is the unmissable little fairy tale town of Tykocin. It lies in bucolic splendor astride the Narew River, with its fine church and synagogue and restored castle. It's an undiscovered Baroque jewel. And so we scratch the surface at least to tempt you to the wonders of this beautiful and wild region of Poland. We know you're going to really enjoy these episodes. So stay tuned as Poland Daily takes you to the Bialystok region, the far east of Poland. Visit our Poland Daily Live page and subscribe to all our great programs. Thanks for watching. Hello everyone and welcome to another exciting edition of Poland Daily. We're here in Tykocin. You've seen some stuff about the synagogue here, and now we're standing in the actual town square. As you can see, it's a big town square, isn't it?
Pretty big.
I'm here with pretty big. Sound like what's his name? Robert De Niro. Yeah. I'm with Paula Otterstein, of course, the esteemed associate producer of this show, and we are looking around. It's what is a pretty well-preserved village, isn't it? Don't you think?
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
It's got some great houses here.
Fairy tale town, as you mentioned.
Fairy tale?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a songwriter. What's her name?
Agnieszka Osiecka.
That's right. That's the one. And she wrote a song that features Tykocin, and she calls it a fairy tale town.
Yeah.
A little fairy tale town, because it is quite extraordinary. I mean, you can see behind us the church.
Holy Trinity Church.
The Holy Trinity. There you go. Yeah, it's a fine example of Baroque church. You've seen the synagogue, which is one of the best preserved synagogues in the whole of Poland. I suppose it and the one in Kazimierz, Krakow, are the two best preserved synagogues. That synagogue has 70,000 visitors a year. Krakow probably has more, but and here we have the other, at the other end of the town, we have the anchor of the village, which is the Catholic Church. At any rate, in the past, this was a very popular place for the Lithuanian dukes and the Polish princes to come to. And there's a big castle that's been rebuilt just across the river. What's the river called here?
Narew.
Yeah, it's a nice river, isn't it? Flows from Belarus and right through.
So it's a long one.
Yeah, it's a lot of it's in Belarus, and it goes all the way to Warsaw, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
To Warsaw, are you sure?
I think so. Well, to Zegja, to the lake.
Exactly.
Yeah, almost to Warsaw, but not quite. You're right. And into the Wisła, the Vistula, eventually. There was a lot of alcohol trade here in the old days, but there were strict limits on transport of alcohol, as we also saw and heard when we were at the Brunitsky Palace. Also, the castle, which has been rebuilt, was an extremely significant fortress of its time, and in fact, this area was the province of Stefan Charnecki, right? Mm-hmm. Wasn't it? And that's who's on top of that there statue behind me. He was one of the most significant figures. We're going to talk a little bit more about him later. At any rate, just over here, parallel to this street, is the river itself. Beyond that, across the fields, is the castle about 1 kilometer away. Maybe not quite that much. Today, Tykocin has not even a single Jewish resident anymore. It was one of the significant smaller Jewish populations in the old days. back even into the 19th century. The church, which you see behind me, is a typical Baroque church. It's rather simple inside. Right now it's under renovation, so we really can't go in and show that to you. I think you'll see that the monument of Charnetsky behind me, who actually, the square is named for him because he owned the town. And in fact, he owned the land on which the Brunitsky Palace in Bialystok was built. So it's a really unique place. It's very old school, it's very quiet, and it still has that atmosphere of a long time ago, don't you think? What's your impression of the place?
It's very sweet, I think. It's very magical.
Yeah, it's got that. It's like a smaller cashmere stone.
And it's nice and peaceful as well.
Yeah, it's very peaceful, even today. 'Cause today is Holy Week. It's Good Friday, but we can see that it's very, very quiet here. Well, at any rate, thanks for watching. Here we are in Tykocin, about 2 hours drive from Warsaw to the east. Stick with us. We'll be right back with more Poland Daily. Paula and I are here in the square in the middle of Tykocin, and the square is named for?
Charnetsky.
That's right, Stefan Charnetsky, who is one of the most famous of all Polish commanders. I think he fought in something like 27 battles. He was a commander in about 17 of those battles. And during this time, somebody going very fast.
That was in the 17th century. Right?
On their way to a battle, obviously. They're in a hurry. He was also famous for his guerrilla, for his partisan, his hit-and-run tactics. In fact, he was the man largely responsible for running the Swedes out of Poland. And so famous was he that Henryk Sienkiewicz wrote a book called Potop in Polish and The Deluge in English, which is largely based on the exploits of Charnetsky. He was even more successful, as they say, in his battles against the Russians. So virtually everyone this fellow was fighting, he was defeating them. So you've heard of Charnetsky before, right?
Everybody did, I think, in
in
elementary school or in high school.
Yeah, because he's kind of a folk hero in Poland. It's like they sent Charnetsky out, and he would defeat the invaders so many times, both the Swedes and the Russians, as we said. But so even during his lifetime, he was a kind of a legendary figure. There were some stories about him that weren't perhaps so nice while he was alive, but they really were not pursued. It was during the period of the Enlightenment that his legacy was particularly developed by various poets and writers. And we can say that that would culminated with the writing of Sienkiewicz. At any rate, he was buried in Warsaw in a huge state funeral when he died, which was sometime about 1669 or 17. So that's the story of Stefan Charnetsky. We're here in Tkachen. Thanks for staying with us. And we're going to go walk around and see some more things. What do you think?
See you. Yep.
Okay. Thanks.